Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shall do to the end.
The world said fuck us,
Shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, nah. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lights ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world. For real, look. Cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? Don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them the alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, lean, and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game.
World
said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
Stay close. Danger lurks all around. At every moment, keep your head on the swivel and never let a devil get behind you. You're on course to the kingdom. There'll be all forms of evil ahead. So gird up thy loins and take this sword, and may the Lord show us mercy. So be it. Curse alert the earth, a monster fairy tale, he the scared to come near. Trying to curb the thirst, the lust of flesh getting worse the more that you bear. War between us and the demons, when they see us flee a fear. Better believe what a priest does, so bleed cause death in the air. I see dead people, devils everywhere through the veil. Night of the living dead, he is scheming up evil, destroy people that believe him. Night of the living dead, when I spit a killing, bring you back to living, Lord willing. Night of the living dead, when the sunrise shall not smite me, no by moonlight of the living dead. Twas the night, illuminated by the sight of the moon bright, full of right. You inside a fight through the twilights. Lose your life if you seek. Out here sleeping at the least. It'll be by a creek off of the geek, addicted to get a piece. And these Pharisees, vampire designs, living the fees, looking the victim dry, flesh your eyes, hypnotized, blind to see. Turning them beasts, infrared vision with the heat. Pick up a lick enough just to eat. Warm blood in the street and beat. And these witches make up.
I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sister, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm strapped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, put through the baddest conditions. I'm fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Vladimir, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she gotta be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit till I go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' the different breed of black men. We don't do the back bend. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, don't forget about my face. We sticking up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Don't get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some rank. I will never take up as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck the shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep it.
This March, embrace the chaos with Fanatic Sportsbook. We're going all out with a $5 million.
All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that when you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you round some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will beat a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw. Ho, they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone. You ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga. You ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga. Play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that, cause niggas get killed like that When you ain't built like that, run around talking like a thug when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that, acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that.
Uber Eats is delivering more deals, so you can get more food to watch more basketball. Right now, get a buy one.
Yeah. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
America KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves, and I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Can I live my dreams on this earth? Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fiction that disguises what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary, thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always more to learn of that, you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yeah.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit. Well, there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, low nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars, and ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis and Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't want to give us no job.
Still, man.
Lord of Christ, man, sir.
Yeah, Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir. We got to change our title, Bible Kashar.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
No sweat, my Lord. We got some interesting articles I had put in there for you too. I want you to pick me from. Yes, sir. I sent them to you. And the thing about it, do you want to? We want to start. Since it's the Paterson class, we can start with that. We can start with that sister that got unalived on the railroad tracks. Maybe that's the first one you can pull up, and we can get to that. Or it's a couple.
When I loaded up with the third baby daddy one, I'm hold up. Let me load the other one up.
Third baby daddy, we definitely gonna touch that one, but we want to touch that one a little.
Yeah.
Well, we could touch that one first if you want to, because it's gonna go into what we're talking about.
We got a couple of them up here too. So.
All right, so yeah, whichever one you load up, I got a preset ready for it, and we ready, we lock and loaded.
14-year-old shot in Paterson. Hold on, let me load these up. We got quite a few. Woman shot to death on Paterson streets. Okay. Yeah, you got some good stuff here.
Yes.
He's deferred though. on no indictment on Paterson. What?
Yeah, man. It's disturbing things that's happening out in the city that I was born in. You know, the city that I'm from. You know, we all together now though as one. We North Jersey. You know what I mean? Excuse me. We the ISUPK. We started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. The ISUPK is not affiliated with no fake Israelite group, no Christian church, or no Muslim mosque. I'm Priest Officer 50 Marwasar. I'm with my Adawan, my Lord. Priest Officer 50 Ayashala. And we here. We gonna bring out this Paterson class today, man, because there's been some disturbing things happen out there in my hometown, my city. But we are North Jersey now. You know, we are North Jersey, ISUPK North Jersey. Everything between Passaic County, Essex County, Union County. What's our other territory, sir? We go out. We stretch out. Where we stretch out from?
We got Paterson, Irvington, East Orange.
Oh, we got the trenches.
Jersey City, Union City.
Jersey City, Union City. You know, we the Israelites that got the
Bayonne. We cover all of that.
Yeah, we cover all the trenches, and we're the ones that are really out in the trenches because we're from the trenches. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. Was from the streets of Paterson, New Jersey. My Ottawa from the streets of Jersey City, New Jersey. And the Lord has sent us out in these streets to gather our people up and to bring them back home, to let them know that this disturbing nonsense that's going on and all this bloodshed of all our people being destroyed out here, this stuff has to stop, man, or we're all gonna be destroyed. Now we have some disturbing news coming up out of Paterson, you know, as always, you know, sad to say. You know, it's going on all over the world, all over the, you know, United States, all countries. You know, we in the end times, we in them last days. But a lot of this nonsense could have been avoided with simple teaching, with teaching the Bible correctly and adding practical knowledge to it, not teaching the way them suckers in the Christian church teach it. Sir, when you pull out when you pull out this article, right? Where these brothers and sisters are being unalived at, being shot at, you can't even imagine how many churches is in the vicinity.
Here, let me take a wild guess.
Sir, let me
take a wild guess. Don't spoil it for me. Let me take a stab at it. At least 8 churches.
At least you being nice. But I'd say that
I was lowballing it. I was going to say 5, but I figured it's like 10 or 15 Christian churches out there. But you also got the Hispanic ones, the evangelist, apostle, whatever they say, however they pronounce it. But it's called the Evangelita or something like that, Apostles Church or something. It's in Spanish, but either way, it's all Christian churches.
Man, sir, Google. Sir, real quick before we go, my Lord, can you Google? Man, I think I'm gonna Google how many churches are in Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh God, here I'll do you one better. We could Google how many just in downtown Paterson alone.
All right, yeah, because the amount of bloodshed that's all over this city.
Because a lot of the bloodshed happens downtown Paterson because right over no matter which one of the 4 bridges you cross over is nothing but projects and barrios and trenches. You got to talk through over that just to get to the halfway decent areas, unless you come from the back way off of 46, where he's predominantly Hispanic. It's still the trenches, but it's a lot nicer coming from that way. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, come on, sir. When you coming from 46, you coming in the back way, Woodland Park area, Clifton, and all of those.
All of that back there, that's where
Woodland
it's nice.
Park, Clifton, Totowa. That's 46. That's the outskirts, because that's next to the suburbs, and you coming into the west side of Paterson. You know what I mean? But down the hill to the east side of Paterson and everything, from the 1st ward to the 4th ward and the 5th ward, is danger. It's definitely danger. And downtown is definitely danger. But it's serious out here. Salakia, 1 second, sir.
One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20.
All right, Salakia, I'm back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still counting.
You still count how many churches is here? Yeah.
So far, you slapped me at 30.
So far you have 30 churches.
From downtown Paterson on out. Yeah.
From downtown Paterson on out, you have 30 goddamn churches so far. 30.
37,
Real interesting.
40. We have 40.
Now we're at 40. Now we're at 40 damn churches.
45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 50.
Now we're at 50 churches.
51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. We had 60.
We had 60.
Shall I keep going? Because it keeps saying more search results, and it's still in Paterson.
And it's still in Paterson. So far we got 60 goddamn churches out there.
Just in Paterson alone.
Just in Paterson alone. So can we proceed with the first news article, sir?
Sure. But that's crazy that somebody got gunned down and none of them churches is standing up to do nothing or even speak to anybody in politics or law enforcement trying to come together with a solution to the problem. You know, I remember there was a time back when the Black Panthers were around that activists were actively interacting with certain churches, and at least they made feeble attempts then. Even though they were still misleading our people, at least they made feeble attempts to try to gather together to try to do something about the drugs and the crime rate in the community, because it's nowhere near what it is now. You get what I'm saying? Because back then it was a lot more racially biased. It was a lot more like racially provoked.
So after we finish a couple of these articles, I'm gonna show you who they really care about. We're gonna bring out who they really care about.
We know who they care about.
Oh man,
that's not rocket. Don't take rocket science to figure that one out. All right, let me bring out this first article.
You want to start in West Virginia? We're gonna start out in Paterson, sir.
Yeah, let's start with Edom.
You want to start with Edom? All right, we'll start with the oppressors. No sweat, sir.
At the end of the day, they don't real criminals. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Black people, yeah, we shoot one another, but that's about it. Y'all do heinous crimes against each other, one another. Y'all will sit there, smoke some crystal meth, and then go in the house and unalive your wife, kids, and then off yourself like a dumbass. That's the type of stuff that they do. Look at Chris Benoit. He was strung out on steroids. He woke up in the middle of the night and came up with the idea, I'm going to kill everybody in my house. And he took his kids out first, unalived his little children. The oldest one wasn't even 10 years old. Unalived his two babies, and then he unalived his wife, and then he unalived himself.
Sir, if I may, these oppressors right here adopted black children and tortured them.
Oh, that was their way of contributing to the white power movement, of course.
Yeah. That's what they did. We can read this article, sir.
No sweat. West Virginia white couple adopted black children only to force them into labor, live in makeshift shed outside. You're a monster. Let's see. A West Virginia couple was handed hundreds of years in prison this week after turning their black adopted children into slaves and putting them through hell. Jean K. Whitefeather received up to 215 years in prison, and her husband, Donald Lance, got a term of up to 160 years, the Associated Press reported. Whitefeather will be eligible for parole after 40 years, and Lance will be eligible for parole after 30 years. They look like they kind of up their age. I don't think they're going to try to go for parole at 30. You know, and that's if they get, and that's if they reach good 30 years and with good behavior. Let's see. You brought these children to West Virginia, a place where I know as almost heaven, and you put them in hell. This court will now put you in yours. Circuit Judge May Claire Akers said as she handed out the maximum possible sentences, the AP reported. And may God have mercy on your souls, because this court will not. If only they knew. The Lord will have, if only they knew, the Lord ain't gonna have mercy on them either.
The Lord definitely ain't gonna have mercy on them either. I'm about to bring out the scripture to prove that. You want to adopt our black baby.
Hey, had that DMX verse go, he said, hell is hot, you heard X.
Oh yeah, that was his best album too. Salaki.
At the previous court appearance, Akers noted that she had never seen these types of allegations made against the couple. The alleged human trafficking, human rights violations, the use of forced labor. Akers said, according to West Virginia Metro News, human rights violations specific to the fact that these children were targeted because of their race, and they were usually basically as slaves. They were used basically as slaves for what the indictment alleges. Now, what's the interesting part about what we read so far is that if it wasn't for them changing the laws after 9/11 because of the terrorist attack and the new LGBTQ laws, there wouldn't be a such thing as hate crime or a terroristic threat. Because all you got to do is basically threaten somebody in a terroristic way, in a very sadistic way, and you could be charged and indicted just for that, just for the assumption, just for the threat of it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the same thing for the laws that they got for LGBTQ members. Like if you target them, it's almost like in a football game when you headshot the quarterback as he's sliding on a run play, and he takes the ball, tucks it, and run. It's called targeting. Like you're targeting that person intentionally to harm them. You get what I'm saying?
Come on, sir.
Similar to that. Let's read over. White Feather and Lance adopted 5 black siblings in Minnesota. At the AP reported, the affiliate press reported. The family then moved to farm in Washington State in 2018 before coming to West Virginia in 2023. At that time, the children ranged in the ages from 5 to 16. The oldest sibling is now 18 and addressed White Feather as the sentencing. I'll never understand how you can sleep at night. I want you to know that you are a monster. The situation came to the attention of the authorities when neighbors saw White Feather lock 2 of the children in the shed and leave. A deputy used crowbar to free them, the affiliate press reported. That's some heinous stuff. You gonna lock broad daylight, openly lock 2 kids in the shed. Like they really think it's the early 1800s and slavery is still around or something. But see, this
never ended up.
This just goes to show. This just goes to show that slavery still exists.
Slavery. Salakia, so 1 second. Yeah, slavery definitely still exists.
I'm trying to see if there's any more in the article.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Slavery. They still believe for these devils to be able to adopt 5 of our children, right, and to be able to put them in bondage and keep them locked in a basement or locked in a shed. I think some part in that article, right? Salakia, sir.
It's still a similar article, but yeah, I switched up to it. Let me share it. You swap?
Yeah, Salakia, sir. So yeah, sir. So They locked they put 5 of these babies in captivity. They say that they adopted them from Minnesota.
Yeah, and then moved them a few years later to West Virginia. Check it out. I found more on the article. It says according to TUFAB, Lance and Whitefeather were convicted of multiple charges of child abuse, including forced labor, human trafficking, and neglect. On January 29th, per the outlet, Whitefeather has reportedly been sentenced up to 215 years. Meanwhile, Lance has reportedly been sentenced to the maximum of 160 years. Furthermore, the outlet added that both Lance and Whitefeather have been ordered to pay $280,000 in restitution. Per the outlet, Conowar County Circuit Judge Mayclaire Akers reportedly told the couple of court that they would not show mercy. Wait, there's more. It says, you brought these children to West Virginia, a place that I know is almost heaven, and you put them in hell. This court will now put you in yours. Oh, yeah, we read that part. All right, let's see. I think that's the gist of it. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, the Shade Room previously reported, Lance and Whitefeather were adopted parents of 5 black children. In 2023, police reportedly discovered 2 of the children locked inside a shed. At the time, kids were 14 and 16. Furthermore, neighbors reportedly told police kids were forced to perform farm labor and were not permitted inside the residence. Yep, that sounds like slavery. Ultimately, police discovered that the shed had no running water. Additionally, per people, the children had been forced to sleep on the floor of the unit. Lastly, police reportedly discovered the children with open sores, bare feet, and unclean appearances. Subsequently, a 16-page indictment was filed against the couple per the outlet.
Yeah. So, Salakia, so you read more on that, on them heinous and tragic events between these 2 heathens?
Let's see. Ellen Gillen, a woman in Florida, has been sentenced. Okay, it says, as the Shade Room previously reported, Ellen Gillen, a woman in Florida, has been sentenced in connection to the death of her terminally ill husband. Gillen was sentenced to a year in prison and 12 years of probation after reportedly killing her husband in January 2023. At this time, it was reported that Gillen entered advocate. Hold up. Is this in turn with the connect? Oh.
No. That's a whole nother story, sir.
Yeah, because I'm like, because they got it like right with that article. So I'm like, well, all right. No sweat.
Yeah, we got to go back up to, we go up to them devils in West Virginia that had that's charged with trafficking and labor laws and everything. So they were starving them children out. And they did it just because the children were black.
Yeah, I'm talking about open sores. They had open sores and bare feet and scarred up. And listen, I'm not surprised because this is stuff that we've been enduring for over 400 and some odd years. So this is nothing new under the sun, Marvasar. This just shows how wicked and disgusting and how much of a piece of garbage these Edomites are. And this just shows their destructive nature, because not only do they do that to black kids, they'll do it to their own, just to prove a point.
Yeah, I got a scripture for that, sir. I think I got it. Let me see. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Now,
hold on. Watch out when you speak. Slow down.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5.
All right, let me get there with you.
Okay, Salakia.
Right. Now, as far as these articles, what is the topic? So I know how to label these precepts. Like, are these part of oppression? Because that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, they're part of oppression and violence, but they're all tied to oppression. Every single one of them are going to fall in the category of oppression.
All right, so let me make sure I write this precept down on my list. He said Ezekiel 35 and 5.
Yeah, it's the book, and it's an Edom precept, meaning it's talking about the pale face oppressor. It's talking about Esau. Now, I mean, because that's who the white man is in the Bible. He is Esau.
Damn right. All right.
All right.
I'm right there with you. Get to it.
Okay. All right. So it's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. So a perpetual hatred. Perpetual means an everlasting hatred. You know what I mean? They has had an everlasting hatred, right? And when Ezekiel was breaking this down, what's heavy about this is at this time Ezekiel was in the Babylonian captivity, right? So in the Babylonian captivity, we was enslaved by Hamites, by Africans. So this right here is a future prophecy that Ezekiel is bringing out. This is what he's talking about, what's happening in the future. Because at this time, we getting oppressed by the Babylonians. We getting oppressed by
Ezekiel's. He's a part of Ezekiel's visions that he was prophesying.
This is a part of his vision. What he's telling what's happening with Esau, and what do we call America today? Everyone knows America
modern day Egypt.
Modern day Egypt, Babylon, and Sodom and Gomorrah. Babylon, because of them with the space programs building the tower again.
Yeah, it's another Tower of Babel.
Another Tower of Babel.
They recreated the Tower of Babel. Now, don't this sound like the same thing as Esau having a perpetual hatred towards Jacob when he said, "I'll mourn for my father after I mourn for my father"? I'm gonna.
Yes, sir. We're gonna bring that one out next. We're gonna bring that one out. Let me finish this real quick.
It just sounded similar, you know.
I wanted to give the context of the scripture, right? Because a lot of people break down scripture and they don't give context, because when you read the Bible, they have to understand what it has to do with me today, right? You give the average person the Bible and they read it, they don't know how to be practical about it because of them dumb Christian churches. So now, as we give them the context and we let them know how it relates on what's going on today, now they can understand, like, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. Ezekiel's giving a vision about what white people are going to be doing to black people in the future. That's what it's saying. So it said, Ezekiel 35:5, it said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, what means an everlasting hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Yeah, these young children that locked in the shed and been human trafficked and forced into slavery and forced labor and hellish conditions. Oh yeah.
Come, sir, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
Meaning, now, by the force of the sword, remember, Esau was gifted with the sword.
That's what he hunted us down with, his weapons, his military. That's how he puts us in slavery.
They hunted these children, and the sword that they used was adoption. Adoption was another way of abduction.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
In the time of calamity is the time that they're facing now.
They didn't have no one to take care of them. They parents were failures, probably on drugs, like, you know what I mean? And their parents failed them. So now they're in a calamitous time. They're in calamity. They don't got no one to look for. So now they're in the system, and then these devils come out here and snatch them up and just abuse them more while they're already down and don't have anybody. They enslaved.
Let's give the benefit of the doubt for the children. For the most part, you never know. One out of maybe the 5, their parents might have been unalived in a car crash or a fire or something like that. So those type of circumstances do occur. You know what I mean? It might be a rare case. You know what I'm saying? Mom could have passed away during birth. You know what I mean? Pops just left and couldn't take it. You know what I mean? It's certain circumstances that rewards the benefit of the doubt. You get what I'm saying? You can't always assume that the parents was thugging and drugging and being in the streets and all of that. You know what I mean?
That happens.
A lot of situations. It happens more likely More likely than not.
Yeah, it happens more likely than
not. With
if
kids
you see what was happening with the little sister that just got unalived with her father at the car wash and all of that, both of her parents was like they was in the damn streets. You know what I mean?
The whole thing with that situation was it was mistaken identity.
These
young cats that did it thought he was somebody else, and once they realized it wasn't, it was already too late. They already done blicked him down and hit the baby because they on some we don't care. They on demon time.
They on demon
time. They don't care if you with your kids. I don't know if you remember a while back we did a clip. I think you was in on the rail with me. The dude got ran down on by the op, but he ain't kill him right away. He made him put him on his knees and he told him, know what I mean, say body your child. He wasn't going to kill the baby. So he sat there and just gave his daughter the facts of life real quick. He just gave her 10, 15 years of knowledge in like less than 3 minutes. And then the nigga offed him, shot him in the head. Remember? Right on the side. I forgot what state that was in, but it's in some of that earlier content I put out. Did you check out any of those videos?
I did. I looked at a couple of them earlier, sir, but not many. I don't know which one. This one right here is you talking about.
Okay, no sweat. I gotta go back and look, but I got some more content to put out. I got some good stuff. I got content. I've been re-putting out content that Camp Cesare I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? I've been remixing some of his stuff because he's been touching these platforms of people that we normally see on the internet and we've been following because they've been bringing out, sometimes they be dropping jewels and stuff, about the sisters and the 304s and modern day women and how they don't want to be submissive and this, that, and the third, or how they want to treat the man like the woman, you know what I mean, like a role reversal, or how these women are delusional because they want to Frankenstein their husband. They want him to be tall, rich, sensitive, in touch with his feelings, but still hard. It's crazy. They want him to have all the attributes of a man, but have all the characteristics of a damn woman.
I know about them nuts. I mean, them nut ass sisters. They want to Frankenstein and put a man together and they want him to be masculine and strong, but they want to be soft and feminine all in the inside.
They want to make sure basically they want a nigga that don't exist.
That's something that totally don't exist.
Because he's either going to be a UPK man or he's going to be a simp like Will Smith.
Yeah, an LGBTQ simp.
Yeah, one of those two. Or you're going to be one of these Christian pastors, like the one that got caught getting fellatioed by that teenage kid in that parking lot. Cop pulled up on him, he hopping out, pulling his pants up. Like, what happened? Matter of fact, I covered that, but you sent me that article, remember?
Yeah. That happened with the Christian pastor that was caught. That was caught out there in Florida. He was caught out there in Florida in the armed car, fellatio with some little 12-year-old kid. Now we understand why they on demon time. We know why they on demon time now.
Yeah, because they getting abused bad too.
Yeah, they definitely getting abused. I mean, can you imagine if that child, if one of them children, if one of these, can we imagine one of these kids that got snatched up by these Edomites, right? And it was getting abused in this orphanage. You know what I mean? What happens when one of these children are so traumatized, they run out and be on demon time now because of the trauma they just inherit from these two pale-faced oppressors for nothing. How they starved them, how they tortured them, how they made them basically work for years for nothing. You know what I mean? How they spiritually destroyed them, physically destroyed them. You know what I mean? Like they traumatized these children for nothing. They traumatized these children because they were black. And this is why it's so important. Why we have to teach our people who the hell we are and what type of structure to build and how to properly parent our children. Most importantly, teach them how to serve the Most High God and follow Christ. None of this nonsense right here. will happen. Your kids don't wind up in the hands of the oppressor, getting tortured. I mean,
Right.
damn, we thought slavery was over with. Not according to these devils. They down in West Virginia putting kids in a damn cellar. What was that movie called? Children of the Corn? Or something like that?
Yeah, or the children under the stairs.
The children under the stairs. Yeah, they got children under the stairs. And that's why you brothers and sisters need to take more pride and be there for your damn children, man. Learn how to raise your children. Get into these classes. Learn how to get some damn morality and understanding, because what if the government take your children, God forbid, or you lose your children based on you having a demon that you can't control, and they get handed in the hands of these damn oppressors. Then these oppressors take your children and literally treat them beyond like scum. They completely treat them like scum of the earth by not feeding them and torturing them and beating them. You know what I mean? And they do it for over 5 years. Know what I mean? And when you was doing it because you was destroyed. They doing it to your children because your children is black. Because that couple that did that, they wouldn't have done that to no white children. It's some of them that would do that to their own children, but not this specific couple. This specific couple chose them children because they were black. It's in the article. It's in the article.
Now, if they did it to their own children, they only doing it to make a point.
Yeah, they do it to make a point. They did that. They did that to our children to let it be known. They have a perpetual hatred against us. They have an everlasting hatred against us. Meanwhile, our people are out here still trying to make friends with these bastards. You know, they'll still give them the last little bit of change on their EBT to get a sandwich.
Right.
No, I mean, we are so confused. See, when they gave Peyton Grinder that EBT to go get a sandwich, they didn't know that damn pale face oppressor was rich. That he lived somewhere upstate New York in a mansion that's about 10 blocks long, where he rides his ATVs, swims in his swimming pool, shoots his guns in his little miniature range, play Call of Duty all day long. And then he comes down in your ghetto where you live in a damn apartment shack. Now, I mean, where you have your EBT card, where you barely have any money, and you give them the last dollars on your damn EBT card. You wouldn't even do it for one of your own brothers, but you give them the last dollars on your EBT card, and he shoots everybody in the damn store. Right? That's Esau having a perpetual hatred. Meaning, it don't matter that I seen how generous these black folks is. They won't even give their own people their last. But they gave me. They gave me, the white man, the white boy.
Yeah.
They gave
So
me
so you being that you saying that, he also said this. Oh, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be easy kills. They gave me the last. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm about to treat it like Call of Duty.
Like Call of Duty. You don't see what our people don't understand is these people have they have an everlasting hatred towards us. So it don't matter. Like white people could pay your rent and give you money and still turn around and unalive you. Because they could be doing it. They could be using it as bait. The scriptures say Esau is a cunning hunter. Meaning you don't know how he's hunting you, right? So do you have that scripture? Damn. His words were smoother than butter.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to.
Come on, bro. Words in his mouth were smoother than butter.
That's not the same one. Just bear with me 1 second more. So I'm trying to get this Bible right. I got. Let me see if it's this. You said his words were smoother than butter.
Yeah, words in his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. That's telling you about this character named Esau in the Bible is the progenitor, meaning he's the forefather of the so-called white race, right? He's called Esau because he was born with no skin pigmentation. He was born and you can just see the blood through his skin. The same way when you look at Donald Trump, you can see the blood through his skin, or you look at every other pale-faced oppressor. That's the reason why they go in tanning salons all the time. Especially if they do not tan in the summertime, when they stand in the sun, their skin literally will turn red. They will burn up and have sunburn all over their body. Well, that sunburn that you see is literally their pale skin melting and their blood coming through their skin. The Bible don't lie. You know what I mean? When that sun shine on them, you just, and they get all red like a hairy garment, like what the scriptures is talking, like what the scriptures was describing Esau. You will see why he was called Esau. Know what I mean? All red like a hairy garment. And they called him Esau. Well, he is the progenitor, the forefather of all the white people, the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man. He's their forefather, and he's had a perpetual hatred against us. So what did we expect was going to happen when they adopt 5 of our children out of the system? Now, I mean, what we thought. Now, I mean, you was gonna get 5 of our children, and after you get 5 of our children, everything was gonna be peaches and cream. They was gonna raise them up to be outstanding citizens. No, they were gonna torture them. These people have everlasting hatred for us. Very everlasting hatred for us.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words in his mouth is smoother than butter. You feel me? These pale face oppressors that went and adopted them kids, they use smooth words to adopt those children. Right? They was telling DITHES and the adoption agency, we just want to make a family. We want to love these children. You know, we want to give them a home, right? They're using smooth words. What our people got to understand, right, is when people use smooth words towards you, especially the oppressor, it's like running game. It's a form of running game. The smooth words is hunting you. It's setting you up so you can be destroyed. The words in his mouth was smoother than butter. You saying things to get people to trust you. Now, I mean, to get people to drop their guard. Like, oh, okay, I don't have to be aware of you. Continue, my Lord.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
But what?
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart. You know, they just want to adopt the kids. They want to give them a great life. They want to give them a great upbringing. They want to feed them. Now, I mean, they want the American dream. They're feeding these smooth words to the system to take these kids. But really, war was in their heart. And when they got those children, they went to war with them children. They tortured them children. They starved them children. You know what I mean? They beat those children, enslaved them children, and tortured them children. That's what they did. That's what they did to these children. Now, I mean, and they used smooth words. It was a hunting tool. The same way Peyton Grinder used smooth words to get that brother's EBT card to get that damn sandwich. And the devil barely have to use smooth words when he see a goddamn Negro in the ghetto. You know what I mean? We so busy looking at each other sideways and sizing each other off. The oppressor come right in and you buy him a sandwich. You know what I mean? I ain't tell you about this time me and Officer Kashaka Ward was working at Roselli on a garbage truck, right? So we stopped for a lunch break over in Bloomfield. It was an oppressor out there begging for money, right?
Right.
Within 10 minutes, the oppressor had enough money for 3 meals in a day. Right? He walked in there and he was short of money to buy his sandwich, right? And as soon as he was short of money to buy his sandwich, a brother offered to just bought his whole meal for him. And then after a brother bought his whole meal for him and he walked outside, a couple of other brothers put money in his pocket. Right? Within 10 minutes, he had enough money. 5 to 10 minutes, he had enough money to eat for the whole damn day. So you know what I mean. With these oppressors, they always use smooth words, and they always have hunting tactics. Know what I mean? And our people always feel sorry for them and let them get away with everything. Let them do everything, do whatever they want to do to us. For some reason, we always trust these enemies,
Right.
and it's insane. It's insane. Our people, we have some twisted minds, and that's because of that Christian church.
Damn right.
What's that? That what's there? Salakia. It was something else. I think it was something else too. I wanted to bring out on top of that. So with our people, we have to get it together. We have to get it. We have to get it together, man, and recognize who the real enemy is.
God.
We have a common enemy out here: blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And this oppressor is destroying us, and he even programmed us to destroy us. When we get ready to show these next clips, it's going to be of how the oppressor has programmed us to destroy us, and it's insane. He programs us to destroy us. That's one of his methods of hunting that he uses to oppress us by getting us to turn on us.
Word. You want me to read the rest of the precept?
Yeah, give me the rest of that precept, sir. I'll take it.
All right, for the top, it's Book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words in his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil. Yet were they drawn swords.
Yet they were drawn swords. So no matter how much these devils talk to you nicely, no matter how much it seems like, oh, they care about you, and the only reason why they're able to get that off on us is because we've been oppressed so damn much. Everyone has always lied to us and mistreated us, and no one's ever treated us right. So as soon as we hear something that sounds nice, right? Now, I mean, we fall victim faster than a damn puppy. You know what I mean? You know how a puppy that hasn't eaten in a while and they got them puppy dog eyes, like they'll fall for any damn thing if you have some food, right?
Right.
We fall the same way to a kind word, right? Negroes here are goddamn kind.
We fall the same way to a big butt and a smile.
Oh man, that's it. They definitely use prostitution as a hunting method for Negroes. You know what I mean? That hunting method right there is what has you on child support. All of these are hunting devices by the so-called oppressors.
But these goddamn heathens out here with BBLs and stuff got them
Oh
looking
man, what?
Right.
What? All
right for the kill. Yeah, got them all right for the kill.
They're gonna lure your simple ass in, and they're gonna destroy you. They're gonna destroy you. You can't even put the kids up for adoption and get them in a good home. They're gonna get tortured. They're gonna get tortured and get starved to death. And like,
I'll be honest with you. My thing is this: children don't get asked to be brought into this world, right? And my thing is, if you're doing grown folk stuff to put you in a position of where you might have a child, and I'm excusing the 1% of people that get raped. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm excusing the 1% of people that get sexually assaulted and they end up with child. But for those that grown or think they've grown and they want to do grown things, they got to be responsible for those consequences and responsible for those and take accountability for those actions as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool to adopt for those that's barren and can't have children, or men that have barren seed and can't produce children. The adoption, that's all well and good, that's cool. But the whole reason why the Lord, putting us here is for us to fear him, keep his law, statutes, and commandments, and believe in him. Because if we believe in him and keep his law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord might just bless you and make you whole to where you can pass your seed and have a child. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it takes in order for a woman to not be barren. I think that's what it takes for a man's seed to not be barren. You know what I'm saying? It takes the law, statutes, and commandments, and the fear of the Most High. And I think if we keep the black fathers in the black households more often than not, we won't have situations of abductions, kids being kidnapped, because we have that household structure or order in place to where these children is carefully being watched over. See, the problem is these single mothers, once these kids are walking and talking and got siblings, they let them walk themselves to and from school, little as hell. How many times you go outside and you on your way to slavery, you see little kids walking themselves to and from school, Marcel?
They always by themselves.
You talk about babies, like you see a bunch of babies. Yeah, they ganged up, but the oldest one is like 7, if that. The rest of them look like they're like 3, 4 years old, 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing but yell and scream and holler. That van with that slide door pull up, and they just hop out and just start grabbing the little ones and jump back in and slide that door and pull off. Who gonna do something? Ain't no adults out there. Ain't no adult supervision.
And once your child get in that damn van, you're never going to see them again.
Exactly. Unless you luck up, which is a 1 in a million case. Like that case I covered with those 16 random children getting abducted on the outskirts of Philly. The only reason why they got retrieved in time is because somebody acted fast and seen something and said something and called the authorities and said, yo, kid just got snatched up. And that Amber Alert went out. And when the U.S. Marshals jumped on it, because they caught multiple cases at one time, they acted so fast that they caught the mofos before they got out the area.
Oh, Most High in Christ.
Because they was being greedy. They grabbed 16 random kids within that town.
16 random kids.
Black, white, Asian. Yes.
Damn. Yeah, they taking them a bunch of perverted sex traffickers. That's what it seems like.
You know them calls went out for them whites and them Asians. Those are the ones they paid mine to. They ain't paid mine to the black kids. They just lucked up and the black kids was there too.
Right. Right. Because when our kids go missing, man, they rarely ever get found. Like I'm still seeing clips from black kids that went missing in like 1999.
How do you want better? Next time you go to Walmart, go to the bathroom and look on that wall, because it's on the wall by the bathroom in the Walmarts, right? Just look on that wall and you're going to see all these missing children that's missing now. In the wall of Walmart, you'll see, it'll shock you, because you'll walk by it normally every time when you just run in to go use the bathroom while you food shopping and you run out. One day I just took a pause for a second. And I just happened to look. I went and used the bathroom, came back out, and I looked. I said, damn, all these kids is missing? And I'm talking about these ain't just little ones. These big ones, too.
Yeah, they snatching the belly. Sir, they snatching grown-ass adults up right now. So it's like anybody could get it. No, I mean,
you know, certain adolescent children, the cute, impressionable, adorable looking young girls and young ladies, you get what I'm saying? They you know, those perpetrators, they choose a certain type. They choose a certain type. And when they snatch the young boys, they snatch up a certain type.
Yeah, but sometimes, sir, what they do when they want to get the aggressive ones, right? They'll put a drug like on the handle of their car door. They'll use some type of chemical.
Yeah. No, don't forget the other thing. They'll leave a $20 bill, a couple of 20s folded on the ground, or a couple of bills right on the inside of your windshield wiper. Your windshield wiper.
You'll grab this money and you go right out.
There's a substance on the outside, or rubbed on the bill.
And knock you right out.
Right. Same thing if you find it folded on the ground. It's a powdery substance inside the folded money.
And our people ain't paying it. They like, oh, money. You gone. You wake up your ass in Europe somewhere, locked up in the dungeon.
You know, we don't take no chances. You know, we wear masks, we wear gloves and stuff. We didn't take no chances. I will sit there, put my latex gloves on, pick that money up, shake that up out, put that up right in my pocket, right in my wallet.
Right.
Keep it pushing.
Right. Oh man.
When you find money on the ground, I ain't rushing to pick it up, but I'm picking it up. This is happening. But see, they choose empty, secluded areas like your car right dead smack in the middle of the parking lot. Ain't nothing around, ain't nobody around. Because everybody done left the market. Now you go to grab it, you see money on the ground. You're like, oh, by the time you get up, you're already in their van, gone. Or they wait till you get in the car and get ready to start it up and they hijack you. They carjack you. That's another thing they've been doing. They'll follow you, cut you off on the road and hop out like 20, 30 deep. You know what I'm saying? I seen them do it. Some gualas got out, tried to cut old boy off. They hopped out, started approaching the car. He backed up, slammed into the car behind him because they tried to box him in. And he smooth went around like, I gotta go. They started shooting at the car, but he got up out of there. I don't care. My car gonna be banged up. I'm getting out of here. You're not getting me.
Yeah. Cause you want once they get you in that damn van, it's a different story, man.
Or they snatch you out, throw you on the ground, and take your car, and they all just pull off with your joint.
Right.
That's a tactic they use for carjacking too. Especially if you got a nice car, like a real nice car or a high end car. Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. Sir, like the hunting methods that are out here that are being used to oppress us, to oppress our people, and to further destroy us is incredible. You know, I feel sad for these children though out in West Virginia, but I'm glad them oppressors were brought to justice. They should have had 5 life sentences. You know, they should have overly sentenced these bastards.
215 years, that's cool. But I sat there and watched them give niggas over 600 years. So
I just see brothers get 600 years or stuff.
Don't say you giving out the max for these charges, because y'all could trump these charges up like y'all do for niggas. But I understand that you people, they're already in their 40s and 50s. So the time that you're giving them you feel is sufficient enough. But let them been black and abducted 5 white children, or adopted 5 white children and enslaved them. They would have threw them to the wolves for the death. They'd have shot for the death penalty.
Right.
They would have moved the trial to where the state approves the death penalty. They would have got them the death penalty. They would have got them the gas and the needle. I'm telling
you. Yeah, I can see it definitely be impossible that they kept them captive. That you kept some devils captive for 5 years. It would have been very extreme measures for that. Had it been the other way around, had it would have been 2 black parents who abducted 5 white kids and kept them in captivity and treated them like garbage and scum for over 5 years and didn't feed them and abuse them and beat on them and starved them out. They would have probably got the death penalty or 1,000 years apiece.
They would have threw them black folks under the jail. They would have gave them 1,000 years apiece, and then still push for them to get the death sentence.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Like, let me tell you something. You ain't see it because I know you ain't see that clip yet, because you would have said something to me by now. A dude broke out of prison. He on death row. Dude broke out of prison to this spot just to get this vegan combo, and then he went back to prison because he was like, these monks trying to give me steak for my last meal. They bugging. He's like, well, how did you find out about the spot? Well, somebody had a TV on. I was peeking between the bars, and I seen they came out with that new chicken chipotle thing, and I was like, yeah, I need that. He broke up out of prison, got up out of there, looking, watching his back. He walked up in the restaurant, ordered his food, and they was like, well, why did you serve him? They was like, we don't turn down nobody. It was like, usually we get people that come here when they get out of jail, not break out to come in. But he ordered what he wanted. He had money. He paid. We served him. That was that.
Good night.
I was interviewing him after the situation because he was like, I ain't trying to escape. I know I got death row, but y'all try to give me steak for my last meal. Nah, you know I'm vegan. Let me get this chicken chipotle right here. Let me get that.
He didn't went vegan in the penitentiary. Okay.
No, not fully vegan, but he ain't want no
Yeah.
goddamn steak. He wanted that chicken chipotle hookup.
Chicken chipotle.
Yeah. No, you got the combo.
Right.
Yeah, I got a precept right here. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 7, verse 10. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Meaning,
right,
these people are doing the complete opposite of what the scriptures say. We understand because it don't apply to them. But blacks, especially Native Indians, do heinous stuff to their own people, and this is what they need to abide to. They're not supposed to oppress a widow or the fatherless, and a lot of these fatherless children get oppressed because they turn into people like King Vaughn,
right,
and beat up, and King Yella and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these kids, they don't get a fair shake, because their mamas don't give them the opportunity to get a fair shake, because their mamas are oppressing them by removing the father from the household for selfish reasons. I was looking at something yesterday. Little boy was telling his mother, he a teenager, then they're grown now. He like 18, probably 19. He tells his mother like, "Oh, I'm about to find my father so I can spend some time." And she like, "Well, why would you want to do that? I'm the mother and the father." He like, "No, it's not the same. I need my father. I need a man, because it's stuff that he can teach me that you can't. I need my father." She like, "But don't you love your mother? Why would you want to go be with your father?" He's like, "Because I miss my father. I want to see my father. I want to spend time with my father." Well, if you go be with your father, then you can't. You cut off. I'm done with you. Like, she was so angry and bitter at this brother, and I know 9 out of 10 she put him out, but she was so angry and bitter, even as a young adult, she trying to make him choose, and he chose his father. Like, and she really on some, well, if you go see your father, don't come back here. Like, she really was hating on the brother. Shalom, Lord of Christ, warrior.
Shalom, Lord of Christ, warrior. All right. Yeah.
You know, like, she really was hating on the man. Like, and she ain't got no reservation to try to explain to the young brother why they separated in the first place, why he not in the household, why she never allowed him to reach out to at least make an attempt to spend time with the son. Like, and this is why the widows and the fatherless are oppressed, because of women like that, and the strange and the poor. We're all poor, and we all get oppressed, especially our homeless brothers and sisters. They constantly oppressed. Sometimes them shelters be trying to do them dirty. I know, because I work in the shelter. You get what I'm saying? So I know how they come. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them is like, I understand, but at the same time, it's like, y'all want to get help. Y'all gotta do what you gotta do to get the help. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to. They gotta set time. They gotta bed down, because if not, you know, they're gonna lock them doors. Like, this ain't a frat house, or this ain't your mama house where you got the luxury to come in and out as you please. It don't work like that. We got set time for y'all to come bed down. We got set times for y'all to come eat. And we got set times for y'all to get up out of here and go do something with yourself, and try to make a way for yourself and handle your business and your responsibilities.
Right. Well, that's what it's supposed to be for. But they use it.
They try to teach them discipline by doing that. But a lot of more people, they strung out on drugs, so they don't want to. They don't want to stay in the shelter or do what they told, because they want to please their flesh. They don't want to get the help. This is why we encourage them to come into the school. We got the medicine for you right here. You know what I'm saying? We got these law, statutes, and commandments, and we got brotherhood. We can get you off the streets. You got to want to stay off the streets. We can get you off drugs, but you got to learn how to fight and discipline yourself and tell your flesh no.
Damn right, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because what's heavy about what you're saying, sir? What's heavy about what you're saying is that you see the results of what happens when you don't tell your flesh no. You don't tell your flesh no. Your children can end up in a goddamn orphanage. They can end up in an adoption agency. Then what happens when they're adopted by the wrong people? You know, kids do suffer the sins of their parents because you had bad goddamn parents, except for the ones that was unalived or a tragedy. But if any one of them young brothers and sisters' parents are living right now, they ought to be ashamed of their goddamn selves because they want to please their flesh off of drugs. They want to please themselves off of over drinking and not working and not taking care of their responsibility towards their children. They want to please their flesh so much that their children go in the hands of the oppressor. They get beaten and tortured. It is not. I love alcohol. There's not a bottle in the world that I want to give up for my child.
Right.
So it's no way in hell that you can't put the pipe down for your children, put the drugs down for your children, because this will happen to your children once they're out of your hands. You can't put the sexual deviancies down for your children.
They can't put the can of beer down for their children.
Can't what, sir, Salakia?
They can't put the can of beer down for the children. You know, the ones that the winos, the ones that want to just sit outside all day, drink beer, a couple shots in between here and there, and just be outside doing a bunch of nothing all day, every day, with a bunch of people that want to sit outside and do a bunch of nothing all day, and y'all just sitting there talking, smacking, shooting the breeze, letting life pass you by.
And his brothers like that. And his brothers like that, sir, right? That they don't know what the hell they kids up to, but they got like 18 of them, right? You realize that it's always brothers like that out there in the hood. They the winos. They got their can of beer. They 2 shots. You'll talk to them like, yeah, I got about 12 children. I don't know where none of his damn kids at, right? One of his kids could have been one of them children that was adopted by them pale-face oppressors and tortured for the last goddamn 5 years. Man, that's what happens when the Bible said, when the Lord said that all these curses in Deuteronomy will come upon thee will come upon thee. The Lord wasn't playing no games, man. When you disobey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, the Lord will put you through some spooky-ish, right? It's real spooky. You'll think, not my God. Yeah, okay. The Lord will give you. If you sin in this lifetime, your next lifetime, the Lord will give you the worst goddamn parents on the planet. That you'll wind up in a damn foster care agency with white supremacists that's going to oppress you and starve you to death for the next 5 years and beat you and lock you in the bottom of a goddamn shed.
Yeah.
Why the hell you think Jeremiah said, "Curse the day that I was born"? Y'all celebrate your birthdays, but Jeremiah said, "Cursed be the day that I was born, or the day I came out my mother's womb," because Jeremiah was in the Babylonian captivity right along with Ezekiel.
Right.
What the hell is we celebrating birthdays and we in slavery?
Right.
It makes no damn sense. Right? I mean, you remember when Kiss said, "I wonder why we don't laugh at death and cry at birth." Because if you had a bounty on your head from the Most High God and you had all them sins you got wrapped up, you coming out of your mother's womb in curses. And it's a good chance you are being born to the most disgusting bastards on the face of the earth. And because of them, you're going to wind up in a orphanage with the oppressor, an adoption agency with the oppressor. And then the oppressor, who has a perpetual hatred against your black behind, is further going to torture you 1 trillion times worse. Because it gives him joy just to torture a nigga. Gives him joy. They probably thought they hit the lottery when they was able to go in there and snatch up 5 black kids. Oh, wait. While their mama and father out there getting high, while they over there getting high, or they standing on a corner throwing wine back, throwing shots back, getting high because they don't know how to handle the alcohol. They're not in the UPK. In the UPK, we could throw back shots and liquor and still come and teach y'all and take care of our children. You know what I mean? And take care of our children very effectively. But you stand out there and you're taking back you're drinking moonshine, you're throwing back all them shots, them nips and everything, and your kids are getting taken in the goddamn foster care system. Like, it makes no damn sense. It's disgusting that them poor children had to endure that, man. It's just horrible. And you know what? If we had a black community officer IIs with more effective parents and married couples, that would have never happened to the children. But the problem is we don't have a community. We don't have a community of married couples willing to take on children and to help children like that. We have a community of baby mamas that can't even take care of the goddamn children they have already.
How can we expect women to do that when they acting like children they goddamn self?
Yeah, they acting like, because they're too busy pleasing their flesh. They're not thinking about their nation. They're thinking about shaking their tail on Instagram and Facebook. They rather be cum tissue than be the solution to Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian problems. Because that's how you go out in royalty. That's how a sister with royalty will act. Get out here, have some piety, and help us feed these people on the streets of Newark at a food program or something. But instead, you worrying about twerking in front of the world. But until it's your children that's thrown into a shelter, thrown into the hands of the oppressor and get tortured, then what? Let's get one of these other clips, sir. Baba Kashaw. We stayed on this one for like an hour and 10 minutes, boy. Them more questions.
Because you was going in. That's why I ain't gonna stop you.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, this is out here in Paterson too.
Yeah, 14-year-old shot in Paterson.
It's a damn shit.
Authorities in Paterson are actively investigating the shooting that left a 14-year-old wounded Saturday evening. Law enforcement officials are working to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident, which took place in the area of Ellison Street and Rosa Parks Boulevard.
Okay, that's in my area.
According to the information released by Passaic County Prosecutor Camilla M. Valdez and Paterson Police Department Officer in Charge Patrick Murray, officers responded to reports of gunfire at approximately 7:52 p.m. on March 9th. Upon arrival, police discovered a teenage victim suffering from a gunshot wound. Emergency responders quickly transported the victim to St. Joseph University Medical Center for treatment. Fortunately, the injuries were not life-threatening. Authorities were able to locate potential crime scene in the vicinity there through details regarding what led to the shooter remain unclear. Law enforcement officials are continuing their investigation, working to piece together evidence and identify any potential suspects. The Passaic County Prosecutor's Office urges anyone with information about the incident to come forward.
Our children are not safe out here. Now this is an incident with another child. So down south, we have our children getting tortured in an adoption agency. You know what I mean? Being enslaved and being tortured for 5 years. And then up north, somewhere in the middle of the ghetto, we got our 14-year-old children being shot down in the damn streets.
Well,
I mean,
let me I got the precept for that.
Yeah, I got one for it too, sir. I mean, this is insanity. This is a nightmare for these children out here. I tell you that. I mean, this was nowhere near like the era I grew up in. Woo-wee. Tell my son, y'all got it bad. This is a horrible time to be a child. I mean, I know you had the crack era.
It's a horrible time.
That was a horrible time for children too.
It's a horrible time to raise children right now. Anyway, this the fentanyl and legal drug era because crack is legal, weed is legal. They put fentanyl in everything.
Fentanyl all through everything.
Now we go to the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. It says, "They hunt our steps." That's why our people out here is getting shot left and right in Passaic County and Hudson County and things like that. The only good thing is we haven't had no gun violence in almost about a year. I can count on my hand how many incidences we've had in Jersey City in the last year as far as gun violence. That's the only thing I could say proudly. You get what I'm saying? A couple of little isolated incidents, but nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cops not out here wilding. They not stupid. You know what I mean? They might be a little crazy, but they ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? But they hunt our steps, for we cannot go out in our streets. You can't go out in the streets of Paterson. You can't go out in the streets of North Irvington, East Orange, Jersey City, and so on. Can't go out in these streets because not only do you got to worry about young niggas, you got to worry about police. The old heads ain't really no problem because they trying to stay to themselves and get their little money quietly and keep it pushing because they ain't got time to be out here going to war with these little young niggas. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about these young gang bangers, these young gang members trying to make a name for themselves, trying to be on demon time, and you got to worry about the gang of blue. That's not Crips, the police.
Right. So, sir. So at 14 years old, right? I mean, whatever happened to the era? Okay, goddamn, right? You come home, go home from school. You play your video games. You ride your bike. No, you're 14 and you got to get shot somewhere in the street. Sir, do it say what time was this child shot on that article?
It was around 7:52 p.m.
7:52 p.m. Probably on your way home. Should be on your way home around that time, coming in the house, eat dinner, and you get shot down at 14. I got a precept for that too, sir. It's the book of Matthew.
Kids shouldn't, honestly, teenagers shouldn't even be outside during the week.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Nah, I don't know where. I mean, they supposed to get the weekend. I don't understand what the hell they doing outside during the week either. They supposed to be in the house studying.
I see little kids, little girls, little boys out here all times of day and night during the week. It don't matter what.
But then again, Esau education system ain't teaching them a goddamn thing no more. After Trump then slapped the LGBTQ movement in the face with all that homosexuality doctrine they was teaching. Now they don't want to teach nothing.
But what is our people to do when these kids are teenagers, but their mamas ain't that much older than them? Their mama's in the 30s. She outside trying to get high, get lit, and get them cheeks clapped.
That's very unfortunate. And brothers, I mean, but the brothers, you know what I mean? The brothers
got a toddler and a baby in the house. You got 2 kids, one in grammar school, one in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how y'all running it. And y'all busy trying to get lit. Y'all worried about what's popping. Y'all worried about what's going on tonight. Ain't nothing shaking but your kids. Go feed them. Go do something. Right. Take your ass to work.
Because if they was in the house with them children, them children would be in that damn house. They was in the house with them children, like, no, you're not going. You ain't going nowhere during the week. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna do your chores. You're gonna do your homework. You can play on the game a little bit, or you could do your little social media, and that's it. On the weekend, if you were good, then you can go out. You have your little curfew, and you come in. You let your kids out the house, they get shot up.
They let them go to and fro. These kids, there's no, but you got to remember, because they're being raised by their mother, who thinks she's a mother, and the father, she thinks she's doing something.
Yeah, right.
And these kids is getting away with everything. And the only time the parent want to get concerned is when it involves another child that their parent is actively in their life. Now is a problem. Now is an issue.
I mean, no damn thing.
Like, I'm the type of parent, like, when my kid played outside, I'm outside too. You ain't playing too far away from me, especially if you.
Yeah, that's how it used to be back in the day.
And if you get into something, you ain't getting in it alone, because I'm gonna make sure it's a fair one in there. And y'all ain't got no business fighting. But if it's no other option, or you're not able to walk away, handle your business. We'll settle it. We'll settle up later. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, I jump in there and break it up, and I let them know, you want to talk tough, you want to talk smack, no sweat. Come on, take me to your parents' house. We're about to settle this right now. I'll grab them by their damn neck, and I will carry them in my hand with their feet off the ground to their parents. and let them know, look, take care of your child. Your child out here acting nutty. If you don't know what to do, let me do it for you. I'll show you how it's done. And if you feeling spicy in your mouth, I'll fix you too. I'll fix both of y'all. I'll get both of y'all right, child and adult. I got enough belt to whip both of y'all.
Right.
I'm from the old school. I'll put your grown ass over my knee and give you the business.
Right. Because, sir, these monsters that are raising these children are horrible. And these brothers that choose to lay with these monsters and get them pregnant are even worse. It's all a lust demon. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody just wants to feel good all the damn time. Nobody wants to go to war. And this is why our people are being destroyed, and every nation can just come in and just eat us in our calamity. Like what he said in Ezekiel. You know what I mean? Like they destroy us in our calamity. When we're at the bottom, even when we're at the bottom, these other nations come in and they stomp us down. When they see us at the bottom, they prey on us. It's easy to prey on a single mother with children. You got a fucking dummy raising children. It's easy to prey on the whole household. I mean, it's easy to turn the kids into drug dealers and murderers and the daughters into pole dancers. It's an easy fix for the white man to do that. To destroy black and Hispanic children. I got a precept real quick, sir. Bible Sharp.
Yeah, and then we go to the article, but just watch the language a little bit there.
Come, sir. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child. Woe is talking about destruction, right? It's talking about destruction unto them, unto you that are with child, meaning you're going to see the destruction of children in these last days. We just showed you an article about how 5 of our brothers and sisters were thrown and were in an adoption agency and then were adopted by 2 white supremacists who tortured these babies for years. And now our children that's with the parents in the ghetto, they're getting shot. Woe to those that are with child in that day. Christ said it. These letters are in red. That's Christ. Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew, Jesus Christ. It's Matthew 24, verse 19. The precept is, and woe unto them that are with child in them days, in the last days. If you don't believe we're living in the last days right now, you're dumb as a bag. Right? We're living in the last days right now. And Christ said in the last days, you're going to see a lot of destruction happen upon children. I ain't seen you this article, sir. Some brother threw a 1-year-old girl off the balcony because he was mad at her mother. Threw a 1-year-old girl off the balcony. That wasn't his child. This heifer has another man around her baby, and they get in an argument, and he gets mad at her, and the 1-year-old daughter, the 1-year-old baby, the black princess, holds her up by one goddamn leg and drops her right off the damn balcony.
Did the baby survive?
Yeah, I believe the baby survived. I gotta look more in the article. I think the baby survived, though. I believe so. Just broken bones.
Let's pull up this next article for time's sake, because we still got more articles to get into. We still got. But yeah, you're right, Warrior. That is so effeminate of the brother to get upset with the woman and to take it out on the child, and the child had nothing to do with it. That's the problem with these single household little boys being raised up acting like little bitches, because they got nothing but femininity to look after that's raising them. Because you're being raised by a woman. She's dogging you because you remind her of her baby father, and he not in the household because she put him out like the dumbass she is.
Right.
Instead of trying to work it out. Now she got niggas all in and out the house. You know what I'm saying? You got multiple stepdads. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no upbringing because because she had daddy issues. So your grandfather can't even teach you nothing. You understand? She got no structure in the household because the household has been broken. Like, this is why white people don't have to do much anymore. We do it to each other so bad to the point that they sitting there like, damn. Like, I know we bad, but damn, y'all doing each other dirty.
They hunted us to do that, sir. They indoctrinated us into becoming our own worst enemy.
Yeah,
this is how diabolical this monster is.
You're damn right about that. Right about that.
Yeah, next article on you, sir.
All right. Woman shot to death on Paterson Street corner. Damn, Paterson starting to sound like Chicago.
You see what's going on here? Woman shot to death on a damn railroad track. Now, goddamn railroad track. I believe it happened on 19th Ave and 27th Street, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm getting to it right now. A woman was shot and killed in Paterson early Wednesday, authorities said. Police found a woman with a gunshot wound at the corner of 27th Street and 19th Avenue at about 3:10 a.m., the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office said. The woman who has not been identified was pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests have been made and the investigation is ongoing. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? That is the end of that article. That's exactly what I be talking about. When it comes to Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they keep it clean cut and dry. But let it be a white person though. Oh, it's getting widespread news coverage. It's all over CNN. It's all over channels. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. If you want, we could jump right into this next one, do some more scriptures, and then we cover the last one if you want to do that.
Yes, sir. We can jump into the next one. No, I mean, but it just goes to show though. It goes to show you, right, how your sister shouldn't even be outside that late. You shouldn't be running around without a husband.
No, you gotta understand something. A lot of these people, they work those hours. She might have been getting off from a shift or on her way to do the graveyard shift. She might have been a nurse or something, bro. Like, I do Uber, so I know a lot of these people be going to work 3, 4 in the morning, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, getting off at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. You feel me? Like,
yes,
I be knowing.
Sir, like, this sister wasn't no nurse. You know, she got shot on the railroad tracks, sir. Her body was found on the railroad tracks, on the back of the railroad tracks. So okay.
She might have been a woman of the night, out. Yeah, she might have been getting to her bag.
Yeah, she probably was a prostitute, a streetwalker. She got found in the back end by the railroad tracks. That's why I said they have no business being outside. They should be with a husband in the house. She don't got no man. The whole world is her man. So she's outside running the goddamn streets late night, and she winds up. How we know? She possibly could have probably been assaulted and then shot in the back of the head. People crazy nowadays, or robbed and then shot in the back of their head. Whole point being, our sisters have no purpose being outside late, all in the streets, and they expect to live. It's ridiculous, especially with the times we living in.
Okay. Well, let me jump into this one. It says police defer on no indictment for Paterson officer fatal shooting. Officers fatally shot Najee Seabrooks in 2023 after a standoff. Seabrooks was suffering a mental health crisis. I think I remember this.
Man.
Reactions are pouring in after yesterday's decision by the state's grand jury not to file criminal charges against Two Paterson police officers involved in the fatal shooting of 31-year-old Najee Seabrooks in 2023. Seabrooks, a violence intervention specialist, was killed following an hours-long standoff with police while he was having a mental health crisis. Despite calls from fellow intervention specialists to intervene, they were not allowed access. An investigation and the release of body camera footage shows that officers fatally shot Seabrooks after he moved toward police with a knife. His death sparked a firestorm and eventually led the city to take significant steps toward reform. However, as Ted Goldberg reports, yesterday's decision was disappointing, but not surprising for community advocates.
Najee Seabrooks and others like him should still be alive today.
After a grand jury declined to indict the Paterson police officers who shot and killed Najee Seabrooks, social justice activists say they're disappointed, but not surprised.
The courts will always side with the police officers and not the victims, because they will say that the police officers did with everything that they was legally required to do.
There needs to be more investigation, that the police officers need to be held accountable. And then we need this by having a systemic change, and by holding them to be accountable, we can reach that systemic change.
About 2 years ago, Seabrooks called 911 while experiencing a mental health crisis in Paterson. After police responded, it began a 5-hour standoff where Seabrooks locked himself in a bathroom, hurting himself and setting a fire in the bathroom, until body cam footage shows him emerging with a knife.
They did everything they possibly humanly could to try to de-escalate that situation. And, you know, sometimes things just don't end up the way we want it to end up.
Paterson PBA President Angel Jimenez says these officers followed protocol and did nothing wrong. He also says the state's attorney general's office was fair in investigating the shooting.
They were extremely thorough, in their investigation. But now I would hope that those individuals who accuse my members of murderers, that they would come out and apologize.
A few weeks after the shooting, the AG's office took over the Paterson Police Department. Seabrooks' death also sparked widespread protests and criticism of how police respond to people experiencing a mental health crisis.
15 years ago, I can understand having that feeling, but these guys, the training is different, so that 5-hour standoff that you guys, that we all know about is part of the training that has occurred in the last, 5 to 6 years with this AG.
Even if someone does have a weapon or is acting erratically, that does not mean that they deserve bullets. In that moment, they deserve patience, care.
There needs to be a mental health professional on scene at first responding, and that there is a continued issue here of the police being militarized, of there being police response to a health crisis, and that unfortunately the family of Najee Seabrooks is not going to be able to see this play out in the courts and potentially get justice here.
Arrive Together is a statewide program that pairs mental health professionals with police to respond to certain 911 calls. Jimenez says it's an option for Paterson in the future.
Very open to that, but it doesn't mean that it's going to prevent something like this from happening, right? You know what I mean? Like, you have someone that's barricaded, someone that's being, a situation where someone's being violent.
When a victim or potential victim sees officers, in riot gear, or multiple officers, armed inside their homes, they feel threatened, especially individuals who may not be in their correct mental state.
In response to Najee's death, the Seabrooks Washington bill was introduced, named in Seabrooks' honor, and appropriates $12 million in state funds to community response teams. As for the Paterson Police Department, the state Supreme Court will hear arguments in the next month about whether or not it's constitutional for the AG to take it over in a lawsuit brought by the state's PBA.
It is well within the Attorney General's authority to supersede a police department, and that authority has been granted by the legislature of the New Jersey, and it's something that has repeated over the course of history under the office of the Attorney General.
And late last week, the Seabrooks family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Paterson, the family hoping someone will someday be held accountable for the death of their loved one. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Ted Goldberg.
Sometimes money's not gonna fix a situation that occurred where somebody lost their child due to police unaliving them. and then they found that the police followed procedure and did everything that they absolutely could to not to have ended up unaliving them. You know, there's other stuff that could have been done, Mawasar. They didn't have to unalive them. They could have tased them.
Yeah, sir.
They could have used. They could have used. They could have used. Listen, they deep as hell. They could have used martial arts to disarm them. I watched a cop use MMA to take down a suspect and not harm him, and subdue him at the same time. So don't beat me in the head with the excuse of saying that there was absolutely nothing else they could have done. They could have went back to the drawing board and put these cops back in police academy and gave them some real departmental training and teach these scary ass mofos some hand-to-hand combat tactics so they don't have to use excessive force. Teach them tactics to where they could use their stun gun. Teach them they could use pepper spray and mace. Teach them that they could use their baton. They got a whole safety belt like fucking Batman full of weapons. Select your language. They got a safety belt full of weapons like Batman, but they saying the only force that they could have used was deadly and lethal force. Any other time you use a stun gun to get a brother out his car, and then y'all will put knees and feet and all up on them. You know what I'm saying? It's preposterous and it makes no sense. I don't agree with that, and I don't jack that. Like I don't.
Sir, Salakia, sir. Now, I mean, I'm looking for a scripture, right? But you know, you've been where I've been. You're a graduate of where I'm trying to graduate from, right? And we're trained. We would have been trained to handle that situation way better than what these oppressors, have did to our brother. We're trained to handle that situation. If that brother was armed, he would have gotten disarmed without him being unalived, because we would understand that this brother was dealing with mental health issues.
Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that he was harming himself as well. I get that. That's all part of mental health. But see, police will tell you they don't have no mental health training. First off, that's why they need to re-scrap that departmental training program and reinforce it to give these cops mental health training. Give these cops training to deal with drug abused people that's in the street. Because what they do, cops get called, they put their gloves and stuff on, they either subdue the person or the person so goddamn high, they just sit out there wait for an ambulance to pick them up. They don't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do. They're not trained to handle that. And they tell you they're not trained to handle that. So what is y'all trained to do? Y'all trained to kill? Y'all trained to do traffic stops? Y'all trained to abuse people that don't know their rights? That's what y'all trained to do?
Salakia said, right? These police officers, these pale bastards, right? These oppressors, these pigs are trained to do nothing but to cause murder and harm the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the real chosen children of Israel. They wasn't put here to protect us. They wasn't put here to rescue us. These bastards were set up to oppress us, to destroy us, and to harm us, and to especially harm us when we're down.
Oh, I know that.
This whole system was set up by Esau, was set up by a bastard who has a perpetual hatred towards us. So of course they're not going to know how to disarm the mental health person, even though I'm trained in Hebrew Academy to know how to do it. To how to disarm, to know how to handle a brother that's dealing with a mental health crisis without unaliving that brother and showing him some goddamn mercy. But here it is. You, who people pay their tax dollars to, you come and you unalive and murder our brother, and he's going to do an issue. He's so mentally ill, he called the police on himself. He called the police. He was his own victim. It wasn't a victim. The victim there was that poor brother there that was having a mental health crisis. That brother worked at violence prevention. Do you know what it is to work at violence prevention? He's in the streets of Paterson in the 4th ward, between the 4th ward and the 1st ward. He watched brothers get unalived for over the past 25 years. He's been to so many damn funerals that he's traumatized like a Negro coming home from Vietnam or World War II.
Do you
Of
know?
course he has mental illnesses. Of course he has mental problems.
Do you know that in Jersey City, the area the specific designated area we live in is considered Zone F? This is considered Zone F, the F ward, right?
Okay.
In this ward, we are the last to receive emergency services in times of crisis and disaster. When there's floods, when there's power outages, when there's blackouts, when if it was a riot to break out, this Zone F is the last area to receive emergency service.
That's
You
crazy.
know why? You know why? Because you got Bayonne across town. They got to get help because the white people there. Downtown got to get help because that's where the whites and the Asians and the East Indians got to get help.
But the heathens are at.
Gotta go help Journal Square because that's Indian Square up there. That's where the white people and the East Indians and stuff at. Everywhere except on the hill, Zone F. We are the last to get any type of assistance. Greenville section, the hill, all this is considered Zone F. I looked at this one day. I was in not City Hall, but I was in a city building up here, and I just happened to see that it was broken down into zones, and we was Zone F. And I'm like, this was during a time where we had flooding, we had outages, and I kept wondering why we're not getting no emergency services up here. You know what I'm saying? We got people with babies and stuff. We got elderly folks up here. Why are we not getting assistance, right? If we go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 17, it says, learn to well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, and plead for the widow. Right? These oppressors do the complete opposite. They give us their own brass forms of judgment. They put us in states of oppression we couldn't even fathom.
Right.
You understand? They put us through torments and tortures that you couldn't even dream up. Like the way we get treated is 2 steps from how people get treated abroad when you get caught doing something illegal and they throw you in one of their prisons. You understand? We 2 steps from that. People don't understand the white man's the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they need to stop trying to seek his approval for him punishing you. You want to try to be his boy so maybe he could ease the foot off your neck. No, you need to seek the Lord and the commandments, and don't worry about the foot upon our neck, because as long as you're serving the Lord and doing his work, he's going to remove that foot for you. And he's going to do something with that foot. He's going to put it up their own keister.
That's Salakia, sir. You know what pisses me off about these politicians and our people. Our people that's the politicians in this brother's case, right? Are just like the Christian church. They're saying the same thing over and over. What we need here is to have some people here with mental health training. But they've been saying this forever, right? All they do every time a brother gets unalived is say the same damn thing all the time, like a politician. Well, we need to seek this type of training. We need those.
They're not gonna pass the bill for that type of training until it happens to a white person. Until they unalive a white person, an Asian or East Indian or Arab. That's when they're gonna want to push to try to get the training. Because the one thing they want to avoid is a civil lawsuit from any one of those other nations outside of ours. They don't give a crap about giving us a few dollars to shut us up because they feel their lawyers will either have it tied up in litigation or they're gonna just offer a couple $1,000 and think, oh, okay, we'll take it because we're poverty ridden. We'll settle out. We'll take whatever crumbs you offer us. No, I'm gonna take you mofos to the cleaners. Y'all getting full spin cycle. No court is needed. I promise you.
Damn right. Damn right, sir. Because it's crazy. Like it was like for instance, and this is the thing, right? I believe, sir, even if they bring the so-called mental health specialist or they try, just like you heard what that oppressor said, he said that don't mean it's going to prevent someone from getting killed. And so when it comes to and it's not everybody beg for body cameras, right, sir?
Yeah.
The body cameras stop anyone from getting unalive. I think we see more unalive. I think more people get murdered since the damn body cams came in.
It's just televised killings. That's all it is, Mo.
That's all it is. That's all they was talking about during the time a couple years ago. Oh, they need body cameras. They need body cameras. They killed. This goddamn bastard. That pale face oppressor deals with a lot of pride. He will unalive you on camera and say what? You know what I mean? To me, they don't care about having to spend no money. If they can go home knowing that they murdered a black or Hispanic or a Native American, they can sleep good at night. It was worth their career. It was worth my career. Like this is what I mean by in Ezekiel when they said that Esau had a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. It don't matter if they murder a black man that's poor with mental illness and he's going to risk losing $1 million pension like Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. Long as I got to put that nigga to death, I feel good about myself. Even though it costs $1 million pension.
Don't forget about the young brother that got unalived down here in Jersey City about 8-9 months ago. Cops unalived him for having mental health or disorder, mental health issues. Mind you, this was the second run-in that they had with him. They had their first run-in with the brother in 2023, right? It was either 2022 or 2023. He was suffering from mental health issues. The mother was calling the hospital, and they sent 911. He's been pleading with the hospital, pleading with the psychiatrist, pleading with them to come and help, pleading with them to the point she done went to City Hall about it. But they sent police. This time, the first time, it de-escalated. Everything was cool, no harm, no foul. This time, it escalated to his death. They ended up shooting him several times, center mass. They unalived him because he threatened to harm himself and to harm his mother. She was just frightened for his well-being. She didn't care about the threats, but the police took it as they were being threatened for their life. So they unalived the young brother. He was only like 23 years old.
Sheesh.
I covered this on Boots on the Ground because this happened around the time Tyreek Nichols and all of that. This happened all that happened within a week of each other. The Tyreek Nichols, the two brothers in Mississippi by the 6 white cops.
Yeah.
All of that happened in the same month, within the same month.
And they turned around and they just cleared these officers, sir. Right? So I have a precept for that. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. Zechariah 11 and 5, right? Because what they did was they hold themselves not responsible. That's every time the oppressor unalives one of us, that's what he does, right? He holds himself not responsible for what he's done to a black, Hispanic, or a Native American Indian. He said, man, I don't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't nothing we can do. We couldn't have used the stun gun. We couldn't have used the taser, right? We couldn't have used a UFC move to subdue him and to bring him in properly. Nah, we had to unalive and shoot this brother. Okay, we had to unalive, we had to murder this brother. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them. Our possessors slay us. And they hold themselves not guilty. And they hold themselves not guilty, man. The possessors, they slay us. And they hold themselves not guilty. They just went to court, right? These two police officers just went to court for slaying a brother who called the police on himself because he was having mental health issues, right? And when the police came there, they murdered him. And they found these cops not guilty, chose not to follow up charges on these cops, not to indict these cops. These cops were possessors that slayed us and held themselves not guilty. That's what it's talking about here in Zechariah. This is what the oppressor does to us. I'm gonna bring it back again. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them, right? The police, the oppressor, right? Them badge wearing bitches are our oppressors, and they slay us. And when they slay us, they hold themselves not guilty. I ain't kill that Negro. It's just a Negro. I didn't kill that drug addict, that crackhead, that fatherless child. Where's his father at? I didn't murder him. Even though you arrived on the scene and you pumped a bunch of bullets in a brother with mental illness who was just having an episode. I've seen many times of pale-faced oppressing white people have mental episodes all the time, and they swinging shovels at cops. They running up on cops with knives, guns, everything, and they're never shot.
God.
Why all the time is a black Hispanic or a Native American man shot when they're having a mental illness crisis? When you clearly know it's just mental illness. It's a mental illness crisis. He's calling the police on himself for help. Mental illness is real. It's demons. It's legions of demons that brothers and sisters don't know how to control. And they get these legions of demons because we are in hell. We are being oppressed. We had over 400 years of slavery. Then we had the Jim Crow. Then we had the feminist movement where they kicked all the fathers out the houses and your daddies was gone. Then they turned around and put crack cocaine in our neighborhood and took all of our jobs away, killed the middle class, and sent all the jobs to China. Now China is a powerhouse that's about to conquer America. You did all of that because you hated black people so much. You didn't even want to see them a middle class. So now you have crack cocaine in the area. You're pumping drugs in our neighborhood. We're all OD'd on drugs. We're all strung out on drugs. Now we're harming each other. We're robbing each other. We're murdering each other. We're fighting each other, right? We're doing sexual deviancies to each other because we are not in our right state of mind. We're on drugs and we're oppressed and we have legions of demons on us and we're going through hell. And mental illness is at an all-time high because of all the hell and trauma we've been through. And you want to know what a pale-faced oppressing cop going to say? He don't give a damn. He's going to gun you down. He's going to gun you down for having mental illness. He's going to gun you down for having a childhood trauma. If you are a black man in America, you're not allowed to have a childhood trauma. The hell with slavery, the hell with you growing up without a father, the hell with your parents probably died in a car accident, so you was an orphan, the hell with every horrible thing that happened to you in your life. If you have trauma and you're a black, Hispanic, and Native American in America, you will be murdered for having trauma.
Right.
Meanwhile, every other race is allowed to have trauma.
Now, what you're saying is heavy, but you also got to keep in mind Esau was gifted with the sword. So this is they doing what Satan doing. They goddamn job. Now you said that was in the book of Zechariah. What was the chapter and verse again?
That's Zechariah 11 verse 5, sir.
11 and 5. Con. Now check it. I got a precept before we bring out this last article for Tom's sake. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 26. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. You know, our righteousness will outweigh the wickedness of the world any day of the week. But the problem is the wicked bear rule right now.
Right.
So for us to fall at the feet of the wicked is like a fountain being troubled by a corrupt spring because it's receiving water, corrupt water.
Right.
How can the fountain produce clean water when it's being fed by a dirty spring?
Right.
How can a man stand up in today's society and be righteous if he's constantly at the foot of the wicked or beneath the foot of the wicked?
Right.
And that's why it's important that as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need these law, statutes, and commandments. We need brotherhood. We need one another. We all we got. You understand? Right. Let me go to this. Let's pull up this last article so you can bust it down before we get out of here.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know where this is about to go, but all right.
This what you're about to see here, sir, right, is the reason for the children that was being adopted. What you about to see here is another reason why the little girl was shot on the train track, well, the sister shot on the train track, while the other little 14-year-old girl was shot in the leg, right? You're going to see she's the reason why all these things are happening. Spiritually, you're going to see. Go ahead.
Ain't no worse shit. I got one that we don't hear from unless he just get out of jail because he want to party again. My second one, we was together for 5 years. The first 3 was amazing. You feel me? I take it back. First 2 was amazing. The last 3 was horrible because then I had a baby by him and it was horrible. That last one I got, it was a oopsie. I kept it. My fault. Ain't none of them shit. No. That's why I do all my shit myself. I don't call, text, nobody. Something happened at the school, I ain't calling you, bitch. I ain't calling. I sound bitter, but no, it keeps down confusion. Makes me sane so I can be sane for these kids. If you ain't stunning these kids, you shouldn't be stunning me. You feel me?
That's it, sir. Yeah.
See,
Oh man!
I gotta go to a pocket.
What we got here is a Harley.
I gotta go to the apocrypha for this, right? I gotta go to my go-to. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. See, the reason why she's saying that her baby daddies ain't sugar honey iced tea is because she ain't sugar honey iced tea. For starters, you sleeping around, you being promiscuous. How you not trying to be with the first one you made a child with? You understand? All that he don't want to be around. No, you put him out because you want to be a hoe. Let's call a spade a spade. You want to be a whore. That's all it was to it. And you said blame him. You know what? All right. Since you want to blame all 3 dudes, let's ponder replay. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the one in the goddamn mirror. What kind of person are you to keep making these poor life decisions and men?
Right.
If they so horrible because they're not there for their kids, what made you feel so comfortable to have a baby with them, and then all of a sudden now everything's bad because you had a baby? No, you went bad because you sat there, opened your legs for a brother, but you also wasn't prepared to take accountability for the actions. You sitting there, you cock your legs open, you letting the brother run up in you raw, and then you get pregnant. Now all of a sudden the relationship's in shambles because you had a baby with a brother. Come on, let's call a spade a spade.
Sir, she said that she said with the second one she was with, it started off beautiful for 2 years, but the last 3 years was shit. So this is how you know this goddamn harlot threw that second one away. Right? It felt good. As soon as it got challenging and it didn't feel good no more, this hoe just threw him to the curb. She became a monster and threw him to the curb.
She said the same thing with the first one.
And then the last one she said was a mistake. I kept it by accident mistake.
Now, if we go to the book of Ecclesiastes 25 and 19, it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. See, she made poor decisions in men, and that's they dumbass fault for falling for it. Right. They ain't have enough sense. They don't trust the big button and smile. That girl is poison, and she chocolate too.
Yeah.
She's putting that dark chocolate right up on him. See, you would have got caught hook, line, and sinker too.
Con, sir.
You'd have been baby daddy number 4 talking about, let me tell you about this rockhead. Let me tell you about this rockhead, man. She don't listen.
Right. Salakia, sir. I got a preset for her. She claimed that all her baby daddies was wrong, right? Okay. A wicked woman is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, right? So if your baby daddies wasn't sugar honey iced tea, you were not sugar honey and iced tea either. And the fact that you got 3 of them, you wound up with 3 baby daddies that were not sugar honey and iced tea. Right? All 3. You said the first one, it ain't work out. The second one, it was going good for 2 years. Then the last 3 years, it wasn't nothing. You threw them away. And your last baby daddy was a mistake baby. It was I kept it by accident baby. You are a wicked.
What does that tell us about her?
That's what it tells us about her. She is wicked. She's a whore. And it's because of women like her that those children possibly ended up in a damn shelter to be abused by the oppressor for 5 years. Now, I mean, women that run unstructured households, what you think is going to start happening to them children once they get up there in age? With the mentality that she has, she can't even pick a man. The future of them damn children is damned. Is possibly over. Possibly over. Right? You got a wicked woman being a portion to a wicked man. So these children are being raised and neither one of the parents ain't shit. That's horrible. This is why we got a 14-year-old getting shot. This is why 14-year-old getting shot. We got a sister in Paterson who was possibly a streetwalker, shot on the railroad tracks at, let me see, 3 something in the damn morning. Imagine how her upbringing was if she's a streetwalker, if she's out walking and shot on the railroad tracks at 3:27 a.m. in the morning.
She was raised by her mama and put on the street at 14, 15 years old because she thought she was grown. And her mama felt threatened. Her mama felt threatened because she thought her daughter was competition.
Daughter was competition, and that's exactly what this hoe right here would do. You know what I mean? I told you
how these single mothers think when they got a man in the house, when they got different men running up and in and out that house. Oh, this is she grown, walking around the house dressed like that. What's wrong with her? No, you sitting there feeling jealous of your own child because she got the same lady part you got, just a younger version.
Right.
Wicked.
Just extremely wicked. And I told you, sir, when we play that last one with that right there come out, that'll pretty much sum it up while we see our people in hell. It's that face right there. With her right there.
Now we're gonna wrap this up. This is my time. I gotta about to start getting ready to do the Sabbath service. But we're gonna pick this back up Monday. You already know. Everything ends up being more than a part 1, so we're gonna bring it all back. So if you get any more articles, you already know. Shoot them my way. I got you.
Con, sir.
All right. Make sure you pay your tithes. Make sure you lock in that room. The Lord 56 Passover is around the corner. We at the end of the month. April right here. We less than 4 weeks away.
Damn right.
You know Atlanta, and I hope y'all driving down because planes is crashing, boy. Planes is coming down left and right. We're gonna cover that next week.
Damn right.
Planes catching fire as soon as they lift off the airport. Like, it's crazy. It's going down out here. Planes getting landing and doing emergency landings on highways. It's looking bad.
It is looking bad. It's looking like the fall of Babylon.
Yeah, people getting unalive. It's sad. Sad. But to the next episode, that's my time, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.